wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I...
Do you have questions about starting a trucking business? Box truck or CDL, I've done both. I can help you start your trucking business or grow your business so that you can buy more trucks. Use the link in the description to schedule a one-on-one consultation with me. Now let's get to the video. Hey, this is Zach Pasquarello. Yep, this is Zach Pasquarello. Nothing much, it's not still a good time to talk. Yeah, so you're in California. I guess the question for you is, do you want to do just local runs? Do you want to be home every night, or are you willing to be out for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks at a time? Yeah, I think a box truck is better for local deliveries. Like, I've seen a lot of guys have a lot of success doing like short stuff, like inside the city, even like town to town, like 50 miles, 100 miles. I've seen guys be able to drive just 100 miles per day and make $500 a day. So I think that's going to be your best bet. The only problem is it's a little bit more difficult. So like with tractor trailers and flatbeds, it's really traditional. Like brokers and shippers and receivers, like warehouses, like they post their loads. Like everybody needs something moved on a flatbed or a 53-foot trailer. Like that's super traditional. Like you can go on any load board, you can talk to any broker, and they've got loads for that. But for the box truck, you need to be a little bit more creative. So you might need to spend a little bit extra time like reaching out to Home Depot or Lowe's or Target or UPS or Amazon. Like you might need to spend a little bit extra time, but I think you'll be able to make more money if you stay local. Yeah, you can make a lot of money installing appliances. The only problem is that there's a lot of liability. And it usually takes two guys. But like if you mess up, like I don't know how much experience you have with like being a handyman, but like if you mess up installing someone's washer or dishwasher, and if it leaks, like it could potentially destroy their whole basement, and there's just a lot of liability when it comes to installing appliances, but there's definitely money to be made. The difference between renting and leasing. So it's difficult to lease a truck if your business is brand new. So like a lot of companies will not let you lease a truck if your company is like new or even like less than 2 years old. So think about it just like a regular car. Like if you go on vacation and you rent a car for a week, that's renting a car. But if you lease a car, typically you have the car for long term, but you don't technically own it. It's usually more expensive, but the one good thing about leasing is that you don't have to pay for maintenance. Like usually, like even if you lease like your own, like a car, like your own personal car, usually you can just take it in for like free oil changes and like get free tires, whatever. Same thing with the truck. Like usually there's a maintenance program associated, but you won't be able to lease a truck if your business is brand new. So you're gonna have to either rent, which is usually like on a weekly basis, or you're gonna have to buy a truck. And I really don't recommend renting. The only reason I would ever recommend somebody rent a truck is if they just like financially are not able to put a down payment to buy a truck, or their credit is just absolutely terrible and they can't get a loan. But it's just so much more expensive to rent a truck than it is to just buy a truck outright with a loan and then pay off your loan every month. Yeah, from what I've heard, to rent a truck, it's usually like $800 a week plus mileage. I actually just sold my box truck, so I'm not running my box truck at all. But I did OTR for like a year, and then I did local deliveries for like 3 months. From a money perspective, like from a net income perspective, okay, so the driver is gonna make more money if he's going OTR. But for me, as like the business owner, I was making more money with the local runs because I was spending less money on diesel, and like I was more efficient with my with my rate per mile. So it depends. Are you gonna drive the truck or are you gonna hire a driver? Yeah, I think if you're gonna be driving the truck, the profits are probably gonna be pretty similar. Like your gross revenue is definitely gonna be less just because you're driving less, but your expenses are gonna be less also. So if you're driving the truck and owning the business, your net income is probably gonna be pretty similar whether you're OTR or local. It all depends on, like if you're doing local stuff, it's gonna be more physically demanding. So you're gonna have to like carry heavy stuff in and out of people's houses, on and off the truck a lot more, versus if you do over the road, you're just gonna be driving for 10 hours a day, but like you're not gonna be doing a whole lot of loading or unloading. If you do, it'll just be like with a pallet jack, dock to dock. It won't be like lift gate, up someone's driveway, down someone's driveway, across the street. It'll be more, traditional trucking versus local deliveries, a lot more hands-on, on and off the truck, inside people's houses, but you're home every night. So it all depends on what you want. You can do either one. It all depends on what you want. You said you have your DOT number and your MC number? Yeah, so your DOT number, it's one or the other. So one of the numbers you get instantly as soon as you register on the FMCSA website. The other one is not, you don't get it until you have an active insurance policy. So when did you apply for your authority? So if you did it about a month ago, you have you have 30 more days to get an active insurance policy. Otherwise, your authority will go like into default, and you might have to do it all over again. So you can't just like sit around and wait 6 months after you apply. Like, you have to get insurance, from what I understand, within 60 days of applying. Yeah, so you need to have an electronic logging device. You can buy it pretty much anywhere. Most owner-operators that I've talked to went with Keep Truckin'. They used to be called Keep Truckin', now they're called Go Motive. You can just go to gomotive.com, and it's like $40 a month, and you don't have to buy like any special software. They ship you the hardware you need. It's just like something that plugs into your truck, and it automatically tracks your logs for you. So as soon as you turn the truck on, as soon as you start driving, it has like GPS, and it tracks how many miles you drive, and it tracks how many hours you're driving, how many hours you're working. All you need is a cell phone or a tablet with applications on it, and you just download the Go Motive app to your phone or to your iPad, and then you can do it all through there. So it's $40 a month. You need to have it. You need to have an ELD, and you also need to have paper logs as a backup. So like, there's a bunch of DOT compliance things you need to do, but this is probably one of the most important things, because you will have a new entrant safety audit. Not trying to scare you or anything, just trying to keep you informed. Like, after like 10 or 11 months of activating your authority, you're going to have a new entrant safety audit, and they're going to ask for 30 days of your records, your duty logs. So you need to have an ELD. You need to stay compliant with the hours of service, because if you get pulled over and you've been driving for 15 hours, like, they're going to write you up first of all, and they're going to like immediately like put you out of service for 10 hours and make you sit there and you can't move for 10 hours. So it's really important. I recommend do as much research as you possibly can and understand those hours of service. Yeah, when should you start like trying to sell, basically? Like, when should you start trying to find customers? I would say to do it now, but what if you come across the perfect customer and they're like, yeah, come by tomorrow, like, let's go. So then you're going to kind of find yourself in a difficult position. I wouldn't necessarily worry about it too much, because you're going to have plenty of time. Once you get the truck, like, you're going to have plenty of time to find customers. And you can always rely on Amazon Relay, or you can always rely on the DAT load board. Like, you can always hire a dispatcher to help you out. If I were you, I mean, yeah, you can start making phone calls now, but I would probably wait until you actually get the truck and get your authority and get your business like up and running to really start reaching out to customers. But you can also start doing it right now. Like, nothing's stopping you from calling Home Depot or Lowe's, or just reaching out to people now and seeing if you can at least like get the process started.